off on our next Kenyan adventure, and this time we're on our way to Amboseli National Park. There was a lot of traffic getting to the park. Cows, donkeys, heaps of zebras, and we even got to see an elephant cruise by, along with some grazing gazelles, and our first Gerenuk. I think that's how you say it. Gerenuk are often called giraffe gazelles.
Oh, there's a giraffe!
Because of how they stand on their hind legs to eat and graze off the trees.
Shamba. Good evening.
Hello.
Pictures
Monkey's kind of scam.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for getting us here safe.
Safe and a quick game drive on the way in.
Boris James Safari's got us here safe and sound, and we are at Amboseli Serena. Where's the lizard? Fuck! Just gave us really yummy juice. We just checked in, and we're going to our room now. Okay, this is our room. So cute. But look at our little backyard. Ah, so pretty. A quick explore of the grounds and a trip to the pool was needed after quite a long drive. It took us about 5 hours to get from Nairobi to Amboseli National Park. And then we were straight back into it for our first game drive here. We are headed on our very first game drive in Amboseli National Park. It's gonna be a sunset drive, and we're gonna see what we can find. This shot of the two Cape buffalo in front of a rainbow, are you kidding me? This was beautiful. Cape buffalo are one of the big five of Kenya, and I think the big five of all of Africa. These Cape buffalo are often found in herds near the marshes. These two being solo might make them Daga boys, older bulls or bachelors of the group. We drove to get a view of Mount Kilimanjaro, which peaks out at 5,895 meters, and in its presence, a beautiful herd of elephants. More than 1,600 elephants can be found in this park, grazing on the rich grasses provided by Mount Kilimanjaro's cool water runoffs. In an area that's normally quite dry, permanent swamps provide year-round water. Amboseli National Park is also called the Land of Giants, for good reason. You're seeing it here. This elephant population is one of the largest and well-studied group of elephants in the world. Due to anti-poaching efforts and conservation efforts as well, many of these elephants boast these long, beautiful tusks. I can't believe this is real. We're in Amboseli National Park. We're looking at Mount Kilimanjaro, and there's huge elephants right below it. Look. With a little patience, the clouds parted and we got to see Mount Kilimanjaro even clearer. The tallest mountain in Africa, and as a backdrop to one of the biggest animals on the planet, this view is my dream. We just got back from dinner. Hey. Oh. Yoink. Bye. This is the nighttime Amboseli night walk. Oh, that was an immediate find. Look how big he is.
I didn't know they could fly. Where did you learn to drive, bro?
Hey guys, I've never seen dung beetles fly before. I've only seen them on the ground. They are very strong. The horned dung beetle can pull over 1,000 times its own body weight. Clearing out dung also keeps the soil healthy, especially with all the elephants around, so we love these guys. We also saw a giant African millipede, some leatherleaf slugs, I think this is a tiger moth caterpillar, and a desert locust. And we also saw this little gecko. I'm gonna do a quick frog rescue mission.
Buddy? There you go.
Hey, best of luck. Please don't be in here tomorrow. And then we also saw this western barn owl. And I've always wanted to see a barn owl, but I didn't expect my first one to be here in Kenya. And our final winged friend of the night was this speckled emperor moth. Wow. Heading out in the morning, we saw a troop of baboons, and they had these babies with them. These little ones are pretty dependent for the first 1 to 2 years, and as you can see, they love staying close to mom.
That was the best thing ever.
Also, did you guys know that Kenya had flamingos? Because I personally did not. We're looking at 2 different species here. We have the greater flamingo and the lesser flamingo. Even though they feed in the same spot, they actually have kind of different food sources. And they consume different amounts of carotenoids, which is what changes their pigment. Amboseli National Park has over 400 species of birds, and while the big animals are incredible to see, the world of birds is fascinating.
I think I'm doing a lot worse at vlogging this second part of the trip, but I'm going to try and catch you up. We spent a whole 9 days in the Masai Mara, and when I was looking at booking this, some people were like, oh, it's a lot smaller. Masai Mara is 1,500 square kilometers, and Amboseli National Park is around 3. So we almost didn't do it because we thought maybe we would mix up, do something else. But this is such a different experience. The landscape is different. There's some different species. It's absolutely stunning. So happy that we came here. We got to see big tusker elephants and giraffes and so many cool animals right in front of Mount Kilimanjaro. And we're so happy because we didn't even know if it was going to come out. It was super, super cloudy and rainy when we were driving in. So we were a little nervous, but it came out and gave us a beautiful show, and we had it for sunset. This is booked through Forest James Safaris, and our guide has been absolutely incredible. We're going out on another safari at 3 o'clock today, but until then we are lounging by the pool watching monkeys and geckos and this beautiful view. So no complaints from me, and the espresso and the coffee is really good, and I'm not really a coffee person, so that's saying a lot. Still kind of hanging out around the pool, and we have seen so many animals just sitting here. There's monkeys, lizards, geckos, birds, elephant. We saw an elephant. I love it here. That was thunder. There's a thunderstorm coming. Also, I'm just talking while Jay is here shooting videos of monkeys eating fruit.
These little rivet monkeys are cute, but you have to keep an eye on them. They're common primates here, and they're often found in the acacia woodlands and around safari lodges like this. They live in large groups, and they're known for being curious and bold, and often trying to steal food from the tourists or lodges.
That is a rockagama, and it's maybe one of the most beautiful lizards I've ever seen. And I spotted this lizard and it was doing a head bob, and I didn't know why, so I just looked it up, and these are extremely territorial animals, and the males will head bob to kind of claim their territory. So I'm going to take this video and then I'm going to leave him to it. That was an amazing afternoon of monkeys and lizards and fun. It's so beautiful here. The weather's been amazing, and also it's funny that the weather network said that it was going to rain like the whole time that we were here. Now that we're here, it's been beautiful, and now we're going on our afternoon game drive.
Right now we are headed to the observation.
Okay.
Oh, the spot where we can get out?
Yeah.
Nice. I think we'll definitely see elephants. I think that's kind of a given when you're in Amboseli National Park. What the? So many of them.
So many.
It's geese lightning.
Every time I looked up at Mount Kilimanjaro, I just couldn't believe that people climb this. I looked it up and it takes people on average about a week and a half to do it, but I learned that if you do want to do it, it's better to take your time to allow for better acclimatization, because altitude sickness is actually the #1 reason for failed summits. I'm not quite sure how old this baby elephant would be, but did you guys know that female elephants carry their developing young for 20 to 22 months? That's larger than any other mammal. Elephant milk is also incredibly rich, and for the first 4 months of their lives, when they're feeding only from their mothers, the elephant calves consume nearly 20 pints of milk a day. Drinking that much milk helps them gain like 30 pounds a week. For the first 2 to 3 years of life, the baby elephants are completely dependent on their mothers for feeding, and after age 2 is when the calf will start to eat on its own. But the mother's milk will remain a critical part of its diet. On average, these babies stay with their mothers for about 16 years, so it's similar to us. I've realized no matter how many times I've seen elephants, I have the same reaction every time.
Hey look, it's me.
And it's a flamingo.
It is very difficult to not bring home every rock that I find, but look at how cool this rock is. Look how cool that is. I don't think the video even does it justice. If you follow me on YouTube, you might have seen my first ever vlog, which I talked about how when I was an only child, one of the things that kept me busy was finding bones. And I had a collection of cow bones up in the loft of my barn that I love to look at and analyze. I've stumbled upon this. Look at this collection of bones at the airstrip here in the national park.
Oh my gosh. I wish that I could keep them. That's it, so big. Look at that. From an antelope, this one. So cool. This is from a Cape buffalo, and this middle part is called the boss. And when they're young, it's soft, and then it hardens as they grow older, and then the bones grow from it. Look at that. Wow.
That's so cool. But I was just looking at this elephant skull. When I'm looking at the structure of it, all I can think of is MIPs that we have in our helmets to keep our heads safe. And I wonder if there's some sort of correlation with that. Elephants obviously bash their heads a lot. City has a surprise.
Welcome. This is a good friend of mine,
Yeah.
and from Amboseli we must have something.
Aww. Oh my gosh. Francis was just kind enough to give us these shirts to commemorate this amazing day. Do you want to come here and say hi? This is so special.
You are very welcome to Amboseli National Park. Welcome again to Home of Elephants.
As the sun set and we headed off, we came across this spotted hyena before hearing some movement in the water nearby. This was wild to see. Hippos are one of the most aggressive animals on the planet, but here we think that we were watching a couple of them just play fight, and they do this to learn skills and work with their social dominance. Oftentimes, males will fight over waterhole rights, and these fights can last up to 2 hours, and they're so aggressive. I don't think that's what's happening here because this felt a little more chill. Also, check out those large great white pelicans in the back. Hi. This is the Varroa eagle owl, Africa's largest owl. It's easily distinguished by the bright pink eyelids. Apparently, their favorite thing to eat is hedgehogs, which I didn't even know were here.
but they'll also eat anything. Mammals, reptiles, amphibians, large invertebrates, other birds, even other owls. They don't discriminate on sex.
Look at the tiny small. Whenever I was in Norway, we saw a Massey Ferguson, and we took a photo for my dad. And now we just found this like OG Massey Ferguson. It's from 1970, and this monkey's jumping all over it. It's awesome.
Heading out of the park, we finally got to see the Gerenux go up on their hind legs, which was adorable. And then, just when we thought our animal sightings were wrapped for the day as we were leaving the park, there was TJ. It's almost like he knew and set this up for us. It was such a treat. He lined himself up right under Mount Kilimanjaro. He took his time with his egret posse. All beautiful things to witness.
Just as we were leaving the park, we were able to get the shot.
These egrets following him is actually an example of mutualistic symbiosis, which means both species benefit because the egrets get a reliable food source when the elephants stir up the insects, and the elephants get free pest control and early warnings about threats. TJ is a descendant of Craig, who was a legendary super tusker that sadly passed away at age 54 earlier this year. Given TJ's bloodline, he will represent the future of these incredible giants. This was the most dramatic example of right place, right time, and I will never forget it for the rest of my life.
Our time in Amboseli National Park is done. We're just about to hit the tarmac, which is sad because it means we're going away from nature again. But knowing us, we're going to find something else to do for the last couple days of the trip.